Honorable viewers, I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Department of English. Today I would like to share with you the idea of the university or the idea of a university written by Newman. So today I would like to share with you summary, themes and analysis. So let's get started. At first, let's see summary. Pelicans title derives from the Henry Newman's The Idea of a University. Like Newman's work, his book is based on a series of lectures. Newman's were presented in the 1850s to celebrate the establishment of a Catholic institution of higher learning in Dublin. Pelkins in 1990 to 1991 to mark Yale's tricentennial. Despite the difference of time and occasion, both affirm that knowledge is an end in itself and that a grounding in general knowledge, a liberal education is fundamental to any pursuit. Both also recognize the contradictions inherent in the university. How, for example, does it balance quality education and quality of opportunity? This issue is especially pressing in the United States with its democratic heritage. Again, how does the university serve both as a conservator of the past and as an agent of change? In other matters, Newman and Falcon differ. Thus, Newman drawing on the English models of Oxford and Cambridge regarding the teaching of undergraduates as the university's primary responsibility. Pelican favors the German model which stresses research, publication and graduate training. Pelican does not minimize the importance of undergraduate teaching, but his idea of the university encompasses far more than humans. Because Pelican concentrates on the theory of the university rather than the practicalities. He does not indicate how institutions are to meet these multiple demands. Nor does he address such matters as students' intellectual apathy, faculty reluctance to teach undergraduates, who may encounter only graduate students as instructor for most of their classes. Administrators' efforts to increase the number of programs, the number of students, and especially the number of fellow administrators without enlarging the faculty, and legislators or trustees' reluctance to increase funding. The idea of the university or the idea of university sets forth an ideal and encourages the reader to believe in the possibility of its realization. Given the centrality of the university in American life, one can only hope for the replication of Pelican's vision. Now, I'd like to share with you themes. Some other Some other more minor themes can be found in Newman's original 9 lectures and also in various occasional lectures given after his Irish university opened. In a speech given in 1854, for example, Newman defined civilization in a distinctly Western manner as belonging to those cultures and traditions surrounding the Mediterranean Sea and resident in Europe. In particular, Jerusalem was defined as the uh, fountainhead of religious knowledge, while Athens was the foundation of all secular knowledge, with Homer identified as the first apostle of civilization. Rome was seen as the beneficiary of both traditions, which were then mediated to a Christianized Europe. Newman was certainly aware of other cultures lying outside the Mediterranean and European sphere, but essentially dismissed them as relevant. In later lecture, Newman expressed the wish for a truly Catholic tradition of literature, but went one doubts his hopes by saying that in the English literary tradition was already essentially formed, like almost exclusively by Protestants, and that the language as a tradition both presuppose and perfect was already set out as complete. More important was several lectures were given on the relationship between theology and the sciences, in which Newman essentially dismissed the growing tension between the two areas as artificially contrived. Central to his discussion was his distinction between science as an inductive pursuit and theology as a deductive pursuit. Science was engaged in the discovery of the process of the natural world and the description and categorization of those processes, while theology concentrated on the understanding and characterization of revelation, which was complete in and of itself. This distinction allowed Newman to reiterate his belief that both science and theology could be taught side by side without either one interfering with the proper work of the other. Let's see analysis. During the 1840s, Pope Pius had expressed a strong wish that a distinctly Catholic university be established in Ireland. In 1851, the Archbishop of Dublin acted on that desire by approaching John Henry Newman, who had recently converted to Catholicism and had been forced to resign his fellowship at Oxford. Newman accepted the position of rector of a new university, which ultimately opened in 1854. In 1852, as a part of the effort to convince Irish Catholics that they should send their children to an exclusively Catholic university rather than to Protestant Oxford, Cambridge, or the mixed religion university recently established in Ireland itself. Newman gave a series of lectures that later would form the foundation of his most famous written work, The Idea of a University Defined and Illustrated. Of the nine discourses, eventually include five were given publicly, while the other four were published as pamphlets when the universities finally opened. Newman presented additional lectures at the beginning of each school year, publishing 10 in all in what was originally a separate volume. The original nine discourses from 1852 were revised for further publication in 1854, and in 1873 Newman published both volumes together as The Ideal of a University Defined and Illustrated. This work was revised several more times until 1889, the year of Newman's death. Ironically, Newman's ideas were more enduring than his administration of the university he wrote about. His strained relations with the Irish Catholic heresy led him to resign his post in 1858, and the university he helped to establish was later made part of the University of Ireland. So that's all about the idea of a university written by Newman. For the timing, thanks for your patience sharing. Bye bye.